Mike Pennacchi with Network Protocol Specialist LLC. So you've gone in and set up a ring buffer and you've been capturing packets for a long time. And now someone's had a problem and you need to dig through all of those traces and find their IP address. In this video, we're going to take a look at how we can go in and create a batch file to search through all of those trace files and create separate trace files with just the packets you're looking for. This will save you a tremendous amount of time of opening each trace file and digging into it. So I hope you find this useful. In another tech tip, I went through how to create a ring buffer to capture packets over a period of time. Now, when you're trying to troubleshoot a problem, you're going to find that you want to be able to extract certain packets out of these trace files. So in order to do that, we want a batch file that's going to open each one of these, look at the packets, apply a filter, and create a new trace file with just those packets that match that filter. So here we have this ring buffer. We've got 17 files in it. Each one's 50 meg in size. And we want to find the device 10.0.11.92. We want to see any traffic going to and from that device. So what I've done is I've created a batch file called extractip.bat. So let's take a look at that. So we're going to say notepad extractip.bat. So what does this little batch file do? Well, it says for each file in the directory, look for any file that starts with, we're going to change this to coreitpros.pcap, run tshark on that file, apply this filter. And I'm going to change that IP address here. I'm going to say 10.0.11.92. I want to find every packet that has that IP address in it. And I'm going to save those new trace files to a directory called filtered. Now we do this because if you don't, it will begin creating new files with Core IT Pros and then analyzing those and creating new files and analyzing those. And you'll run into this recursive loop that runs forever. So it's best to write the files out to a directory so that they don't get all intermingled. So now that we've made that change, I'm going to hit save. And I'm going to run this. So now what it's doing is it's going through each one of those trace files, taking a look at each one and applying those filters. So we can see that it's flipping through those. We're at number 8, 9, 10, 11. This is much faster than I could have done it opening each trace file and applying the filter. So now I'm going to go to the filter directory. So here we see our trace files. Now, we could go in and do some things like we could merge all these into one trace file. Just as a note, if it's 340 bytes, it is an empty trace file. So here we see that this one has 92K of traffic. Well, that's interesting. That could have some traffic from the device we're interested in. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to start Wireshark here. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's just go into File Manager here. We're going to go up. We're going to go to this PC. Let's go into that directory real quick here. I'm just going to open that file, this 91K file right here. And let's open that up and take a look at that file. So now, right there, 10.0.11.92. Every one of those frames is for that device right there. So I was able to quickly go through megabytes. We could even go through gigabytes worth of trace file and find those packets that match that condition. So what you find is that you can start creating, I'll say dir star.bat. Let's go up a directory. Here I've got one called find trigger. So let's take a look at that one real quick. So in this one, what we're doing is we are looking for a trigger frame. Now, this is a whole separate tech tip, but in this case, if you have an intermittent problem, you can put an icon on someone's desktop that sends a ping to this IP address. Then you can go back in and do a search and find where that trigger is. So we'll go through that in another tech tip, and I'll show you how to do that one. But this is how we go in and create batch files that can then be used to go in and process a whole bunch of trace files and extract just those packets we're looking for. So I hope that this tech tip has been useful, and check out our other tech tips and the Core IT Pros Conference.